let's see if we're actually going to play an animation. Our animation ID again is not finding something, so why not? This was something that I needed to. I needed to figure out if these things were actually good. So we have 11 animations on this thing, and the animation lookup has all these numbers. Animation ID is 49 blah 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 blah, and we have in our lookup table. Wait, why is this empty? What? This is empty? Why are you empty? I thought we just fixed you being empty. No, this one actually has animations on it. Like what? But when we stepped into it, there's nothing in it. Like, okay, we're doing something crazy here. So wait, we're actually finding it. Okay. This is kind of part of the issue with using the development version of your code. Found with anim. Okay, so the code's actually working. Anyway, this is what it looks like. So if I'm going up, he's like, ah, ah, ah. And when he's trundling along, he looks like this. Alright, so obviously we need to like loop this sucker, don't we? So let's go ahead and loop it. Okay, I was like, why isn't this working? This should be working. Whatever. So, our animation controller. It's kind of the right animation. Oh, yeah, it is. It's just not in the right, direction and all that stuff. Well, it looks like all the characters are facing the wrong direction, so where are we creating this? Is that entity utils? Yeah, it's Dashkin. Entity utils.h. That's CPP. Alright. So that should turn him the proper direction. So he's always facing right. He's supposed to be facing right. That's how things work. Now we need to loop that animation. So let's go to our animation controller component. And the defaults for the animation right now are set so it doesn't loop. And that's, I think that's the wrong place for us to actually say what we want. So we want like play with loop. I actually made this. Awesome. That is exactly what I wanted to do. So we can just do that. Because I had it set up so we'd set like looping and data and all that stuff. So you'd be like, oh, this is the idle animation. You should loop this. And what I was finding was as I was going through and hooking up this data, I was like, this sucks. This is awful. Because really what you want is you want all these things hooked up in the actual logic that controls what's going on. You're kind of like, well, is it easier to control in data? Is it easier to control in code? And that was one of those things where controlling it in data was just too much of a pain in the ass. So there we go. Fat sack running around and falling. Ah! So what we're going to do is we are going to do this based off of if you actually moved and just not your actual stuff. So we're going to do speed horizontal and speed vertical are not actually going to be based off of your... Yes, nice. Hey, he's running around. We're going to want to take the actual speed and see about it. We're just going to do it in the vertical for falling to do that. So we're going to take the old position and the new position. So let's do like actual speed vertical, and let's set that equal to like we've actually already set our position. So we want the old position. So what we're going to do is up is z. So we're going to do new position dot z minus old position dot z. And we're going to normalize that by time. So we're going to divide by delta t. So we're going to do basically if delta t is greater than 0, we are going to divide that by delta t. And what that should do is basically normalize our speed by our frame time so we have something to actually compare against. In this case, if we moved the entire vertical and we were supposed to move like 1,000 units per second, this would be 1,000, even though like delta t was like 17 milliseconds or something. So if our speed vertical was less than 0, we're going to go ahead and say that we were falling. And we're going to also say if speed vertical was greater than 0, we can go ahead and pick a different animation. We can make him, instead of air falling, we can go grab his air rising animation and play that. So his going up in the air animation. Otherwise, his speed horizontal is greater than 0. And let's do an actual speed horizontal. And we're just going to have that be set to the velocity y. And I wonder if on our flipbook component there's a flip thing or if we need to actually set our transform. I think we need to set our transform because of our collision data. We can't just flip the sprite over because our collision data might not be perfectly symmetrical. So we're going to need another like if else here. So if actual speed horizontal is less than 0, we're going to do some stuff with our transform. So we can flip our little dude, a little fat sack of whatever is inside of a fat sack. Digestive juices, I guess. And we'll simplify these things into like turn left and turn right. Yeah, if I just flip the sprite, the collision data wouldn't flip, and I do want to flip the whole thing. In case like Fat Sack's got like a little horn on the front or something. He used to stab people with it. Not saying we're gonna do it, but they're gonna have jetpacks and laser guns, and it's gonna be some serious shenanigans going on there. Alright, so I need an F rotator, and I need to set the rotation. So this is if he's looking to the right. So we're gonna set that. And this is gonna be to the left. Spoilers, yeah. Oh no. Spoilers, guys. This is the code that's running inside of Dashkin. It's this may or may not be a comforting thing. So this is code to flip our object based on speed, velocity, left/right, and this is going to be code to play different animations. Alright. So he's going to flip left and right now. And all that. I'm also going to do something else because we do have some things. Like our wanted velocity is 1,000, and what is our acceleration right now? Our acceleration is float max. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this acceleration, we're going to put it at something lower, and let's just see how this goes. And our max velocity we're also going to set at 1,000 here real quick. And this should actually look pretty cool. So if the speed horizontal is greater than 0, so we're going to do if speed horizontal is greater than, what is it, M max? Where's maximum velocity? Yeah, it's staring me right in the face. So if we're going at more than 25% of our speed, if we're going greater than 75% of our speed, or if we're just kind of moving. So this is we're gonna pick our animation set basically. Based on the percentage of our maximum velocity that our character is going. And it looks like we have enough for a few things here. And I did rig up those animations, I think. So what we can do is change our animation set. So if we're going more than 25%, we're going to grab medium. Well, we're going to start off, it doesn't matter. If we are moving, we're going to go slow. If we are moving more than 50%, we're going to grab fast. And then more than 75%, and we're going to go super fast. So we'll grab a different animation set based on how fast we were going. Let's see if it works. So fat sack should be flipping left and right. We should be falling when we're falling. We should have a little bit of acceleration on our guy. I don't know if 100 was the right call for the acceleration. We'll see very quickly. And fat sack should kind of trundle up to speed. We'll see if any of this crap even looks halfway decent. So he's trying to oh god, he's freaking out. Oh no. Oh no. He's slowing down. He's slowing down. Now he's going the other way. Now he's gonna go light speed. He's going. He's getting faster. He's getting faster. And is he gonna go all the way? No, we're not gonna get. Jesus Christ. That obviously has got some problems on that big animation. Let's give him a little bit more acceleration than that. Let's give him like a 5 times more acceleration. Yeah, we're replacing Bitey with Fat Sack. Actually, he's it's kind of like a Sonic and Tails style thing. You'll have him falling around, and then boom, all of a sudden you got to play as the weakest, most lovable character in the Brackenwood universe. So let's see what should he have on him? Like, we should have slow idle, medium idle, and fast idle. So we have slow, medium, and fast. Let's see if they're actually rigged up properly. So slow is the walk. Alright, so that's good. Medium is set up to be run, which is medium idle. And fast is rigged up to be fast idle. So that should be doing what he's doing, but his medium idle is freaking the hell out. And we don't need the AS super fast, so we should just kind of do like that. The Adventures of Fat Sack. Oh yeah, it definitely looks like that animation is going at 200 miles per hour when it should be going at 5. But it also might be doing something like something else. I can't put a breakpoint there. Alright, so we're hitting that. Oh, well, I'm an idiot. Yeah, that I got these things backwards. I need to put the fast above the slow here, because, you know, else if statements and programming logic, right? So that's why he's not looking exactly like what I want. So it should just be else here, and then set it to slow. It should be like this. We should just be doing it else. And we can just chuck this part in the river. So we should have all of our states here. Yeah, so he starts rolling. So we got our Sonic Adventures. Fat Sack rolling around. No. And if we let go of the button, he slows back down. Oh, we could make a game just with Fat Sack, just avoiding things. Do a barrel roll. That's what. Can do it. Oh yeah, that thing's all sorts of screwed up. I mean, something's messed up with specifically this animation, though. So let's go take a look at that. And that's the run animation. So it's supposedly playing at 60 frames per second. And that looks correct. It looks, you know, it's a fast animation. Maybe I set something weird with it. You might know, playtime is 1. Let's see exactly what it's doing. So we want to know when it's. Let's create it 75. Yeah, that's how we do that. So let's see, when it's set as medium, what I'm betting is basically our play with loop. Like we've got something in there where it's doing something it shouldn't, and all the rest of these have like a decent number of animation frames. So I'm betting I have something in there that's wrong with like the timing of how fast the flipbook is supposed to be playing. Because all these supposedly have a time of 1 second. So you would expect actually the opposite. Instead of it having, you know, going really short and choppy, it should be actually very long and drawn out. Alright, so we are going to play this animation. So we're going to get our animation data. And we've got that. The animation is the playtime, which is 1. We are not reversing. So We're going to reset. We're going to say play. And this is the wanted state. So in post update, we're going to come through and get our animation data again. We are not interrupting, and this is not the same animation that's already playing. So we are going to set our flipbook properly. Alright, and we're going to set the duration. So we're setting the duration to 1. So we're going to get the flipbook length, and the length is 0.25, and the rate is going to be 1 divided by 0.25. And the play rate is therefore like 0.25, like 1 divided by 0.25, right, is going to be 4. So what we're going to want here is basically we're trying to say we want this to take exactly 1. So it should actually be the other way around. We should be dividing 0.25 by 1 and getting 0.25. So yeah, it's as I expected here. We've got these flipped up. So let's just make sure this is the only place where we're setting set play rate, which it is. So yeah, we're playing that animation 4 times too fast. Yeah. So the other animation should also be slower, probably, after this. I was wondering why Fat Sack was kind of bobbing his head so freaking quickly. Who knows, maybe he'll be bobbing faster. Yeah. Oh man, he's in molasses now. So we could go through and change the times a little bit on everything. But I think what I really want to do is kind of define how fast Fat Sack's animation plays here in the logic, because we're going to have to... Yes, faster bobbing. Must bob faster. I actually want to kind of define specifically in code here how fast he's moving his little legs. And in order to do that, I'm going to have to call specifically playEx. And I'll just list these out here. So interrupt equals false. Loop is true. Well, we want play duration. Yeah, play duration. So we're going to set the duration to 0.5. Let's play with duration and move. There. The roll was fine, but the duration of this guy needs to be shorter, so like 0.3 or something. Just gonna mess around a little bit. Probably all the little bits and pieces, like at what speed these things need to play, needs to be in blueprints. Yeah, the 0.25. Basically, what it's doing is the animation natively would play at in 1/4 of a second, and I was telling the function I want this to play in 1 second. So I just had the math backwards. So yes, we do want to do 0.25 divided by 1 because the native speed divided by the wanted speed is what we want. Because we're setting the play rate. So oh, looks about right. And this is not supposed to look like smooth and all that sort of stuff. This is just supposed to be there. It's just supposed to give us an idea about what's going on, because we're not trying to get everything perfect right now. We're just trying to get started. Oh yeah, sorry. We're just some basics. And then we can do stuff like we can actually go start applying gravity. So where was gravity? It was our mass effect right here. And we were setting that to 0 inside of... Actually, I should just move all the basic debugging crap over there, shouldn't I? So let's let gravity affect this guy. And I'll set the acceleration max velocity here. And we can clean this crap up right here. And let's see if that 9.81, or should it be 9800? I don't know. Let's make these protected. Yeah, it's just the basic stuff. We're going to be working on movement, and there's going to be a lot of rules around that animation right there. So like, even though the character is going to be accelerating and would be going fast enough to like move into the trot animation from walking, there's going to be some logic there where you'll still be moving, you know, nice and smooth and all that stuff, but it's going to wait until like the animation is over for like the walk. Before being able to transition to the next animation, which would be the trot. And we have all these animation transitions. So there's like rest to slow, rest to medium, rest to fast, rest to super fast. So there's all these like different transitional animations that can be thrown in there, which we'll see if Adam has made them for that character, right? So if you know at like the top of his bound, he'll go into the roll and stuff like that. So there won't be any of these like jumps and stupid things that you're seeing right now. This is just something for me, so I can kind of see what state the physics and movement controller are in, to kind of give me an idea. Because I'm going to do the movement, and the movement is not going to be based on like not entirely based on what animation you're doing. So the animation doesn't really matter for a lot of the movement. It's going to be the animations are kind of there to make it look right, not necessarily show you exactly what is going on at all times. But of course, that's not entirely true. That's what we're starting from. So let's see if that gravity... Oh man, that is a very, very slow gravity field. He's so slow. And I think I moved him into the object. So what are we going to do? I don't want to recompile all this crap all the time, so we should probably... Actually, I don't. 9.81, let's just do... 1,000, no. It's going to have to be less. It's going to have to be like that. Yes, he's struck. Struck by a gray box. Well, let's see. Fat Sack is currently stuck in the floor. So let's take a look at why he's stuck in the floor. So Z is up. Yeah, that was just way too powerful. That gravity, too strong. Fat Sack's just buried into the floor. Yeah, Fat Sack needs to train at 10 times Earth's gravity in order to level up and become a super Fat Sack. The legendary Super Fat Sack. So what happened here? So the hit distance was 0. Okay, so if the hit distance was less, The hit distance was less than 0 because we're going into it, and that's why we're actually getting into this thing. So basically, if the hit distance is less than it, we need to not move. Cannot move in that direction. Crushed, yes. Fat sack just turns into a fat pancake. Wonder if you could open up a breakfast chain called Fat Cakes, if that would work. We're gonna go ahead and square that time. Current velocity plus that much. So I'm just setting here. Looks like we're definitely getting some. I have some problems with the gravity stuff because what I'm seeing is a lot of floating point addition errors creeping in. Where we start adding these together. Basically, the floating point numbers are too small to be added together properly for the gravity. So what ends up happening is if the frame rate is lower, you actually fall faster. So it may be that what I need to do for gravity is, instead of actually like doing a velocity vector which just gets bigger based on time that you're not in the air, I actually need to calculate the velocity delta that you should have based on the time you last left the ground. So do some actual like some math physics there where you're calculating, well, we would be moving at this speed, but we are actually moving at this other velocity, and calculating that from where you started. Or is that why? No, it is not why. What is going on is my wanted velocity is 0. So because it's like the air control for Fat Sack right now. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. It's just, you know, I don't want to throw everything on there. So like he's fallen way too slow, and like let's say I tab out a little bit, Unreal's frame time goes lower. can see he's falling faster than otherwise. And that's because what's happening is his wanted velocity is nothing. Oh no, we're falling. Fat Sack is falling, and he's just gonna keep falling forever. Yeah, so basically his air control is saying, "Hey, I shouldn't be affected by gravity," and basically I need to have something in here that's saying like there was no wanted velocity of this frame, or because I'm falling. Why is it glitching every so often? I wonder. Doesn't look like it's Fat Sack that's causing a glitch. Looks like it's that. Yeah. So if there was no wanted velocity set, then we don't want to do anything. So maybe we should only have a wanted velocity. Kind of a slowdown thing real quick just for the XY, or in this case the Y axis. Yeah, that's what it seems like. Because he's moving like he's flying. No, I don't. It's just one animation. You can see it's this the air neutral there. And we're gonna get rid of this guy real quick. What is that actor? Is that a camera or something else? Yeah, maybe I need to do that. So I don't like that little ball that shows up. What is that? What the fuck happened to Fat Sack? Oh no. Why is he falling? Mm-hmm. I don't know what the hell that thing is, that ball. Oh, I must have introduced a bug in here. With this guy. New position. Move equals true. Let's just say move equals false. Should fix that. Forgot to switch that out. Jesus. Alright, good. That fixes that. Oh, Spadzak, you sad sorry character. So I think something's coming in and screwing stuff up. Let's get rid of. Let's get rid of things and see what happens. That's still hanging around. What the hell is that? Oh, let's Google it. Yeah, why does a stray sphere appear in my level? Is literally one of the top Google searches. It's like what? Like what is that damn thing? Yeah, I gotta figure out why the hell that sphere was in there, so I gotta read things. So I actually need to get the player and set him to hidden? I mean, why the hell isn't he hidden to begin with? That seems just so dumb. Let's see if they're right. I hate little magical things like that. It'd be like, hey, don't remove this, like, hide the player at the beginning of the game, otherwise you'll see a little stupid sphere flying around for no frickin' reason. Let's see. How do we even get it? Like, is pawn in here? Alright, so we need to actually play a pawn. Just call this pawn equals player controller, get pawn or spectator, and when you do pawn set hidden, set actor hidden in game to true. Well, let's see if it does what the internet says it does. No, it's basically Unreal is kind of it's set up around pawns and players and network starts and all these other things, and a lot of it we don't need at all. Um, I mean, it's just me, kind of. I don't really know Unreal 4 very well, and a lot of this stuff. I guess the reason you default it to being visible is because you pop open the editor and you hit play and you don't know what you're doing, and then all of a sudden there's absolutely nothing there. Like it would kind of make sense that there's nothing that you draw it because then you have to turn it off. And it looks like that actually did it. I don't see any little sphere flying around. Very good. So, solve that one little niggling bit. Let's get a couple little things.